Hello listeners and viewers. Welcome to Kaduna State Ministry of Education Radio and TV e-learning program designed for our SS3 and other students staying at home due to the coronavirus pandemic. The present administration, under the able leadership of His Excellency, Malam Nasir Ahmed El-Rufai, is positioned, as always, to ensure that under his leadership, our students are not left behind in all areas of human endeavors, especially education. Kaduna State is the center of learning. Therefore, we want to ensure that our students excel in their forthcoming examinations and beyond. Students and other learners at home are given this opportunity in order to continue learning, as education is a continuous process. Different subjects will be taught in this program to assist students to perform excellently in the forthcoming Senior School Certificate examination being conducted by NECO and WAEC as soon as schools reopen. Teachers making presentations will always provide their names and phone numbers during each presentation, and they can be contacted for questions, further explanations, and/or clarifications. The following numbers and contacts can also be reached for expression of any concern or observation: 090-865-00545 or 080-383-62072. Our website is www.education.kdsg.gov.ng. Our email education@kdsg.gov.ng or education.kdsg@gmail.com. Our YouTube channel, Ministry of Education, Kaduna State. Our Twitter handle @Kaduna_MOE. Or our Facebook page, Ministry of Education, Kaduna State. Stay safe, stay at home, and learn well. Thank you, happy listening, and happy viewing.
Hello learners, you are welcome to another segment of e-learning on the subject Christian Religious Studies, that is CRS. Our topic of discussion today is on leadership, and we are going to take Joseph as a leader. The text for this topic is found in the book of Genesis chapter 37 from verse 1 to 36. We are going to define what leadership is. Leadership is the capacity of someone to lead. It is the ability to influence others in order to achieve a common goal. So God needed leaders to lead his people. God established a covenant with Abraham and extended it to his descendants, that is, the Israelites. For God to fulfill this covenant or promise, he chose leaders at various stages, such as Joseph, Moses, Joshua, and Deborah. These were the leaders God chose to lead his people to the land of Canaan, or the promised land. So just like I have said, we are going to look at Joseph as a leader. So before we look at Joseph as a leader, let us look at his early life. Now, Joseph was one of the 12 sons of Jacob, whose mother was Rachel, one of Jacob's wives. At age 17, Joseph took part in shepherding his father's flock with his brothers. Joseph was learning from his brothers, so he was always following them to take care of his father's flock. Now, in the life of Joseph, I have brought out a formula for you to get the story of Joseph very well, so that if a question comes from any of these areas that I'm going to mention, you'll be able to answer the questions very well. So in the life of Joseph, he had 4 P's in his life. And what do I mean by these 4 P's? P1, that is P number 1, is Pete. P number 2 is Potiphar. P number 3 is prison. And the fourth P is palace. Now, we are going to see the reasons why Joseph was hated by his brothers. In Joseph's lifetime with his brothers, he was hated by his brothers. Why was he hated by his brothers? These are the reasons, or these were the reasons. Reason number 1, Joseph was loved most by his father. His father loved him more than any other child in the family. And if that should happen in your family, it's going to be trouble. So the brothers didn't find it easy with Joseph. So they hated him. Now the father did not stop there. With the love he had for Joseph, he went and bought a coat of many colors. He did not buy this coat for any other son, but for Joseph alone. And that made the brothers to hate him. Reason number 3, he brought negative or ill reports of his brothers to their father. Joseph, in his lifetime with his brother, he was fond of reporting anything done by his brothers in a negative way. If the brothers happened to behave wrongly, Joseph was always ready to report that case to their father. And so that made his brothers to hate him. We have another reason that made the brothers to hate Joseph, and it was his dreams. Joseph had 2 dreams, and each of these dreams, Joseph would go and proudly tell his brothers as if he was proud of those dreams. So, dream number 1, Joseph dreamed that they were in the field gathering sheaves. Now, you tend to see that Joseph and his brothers were 12 in number. So he said 11 of his brothers have gathered their sheaves, but the brothers bow to his own. The brothers' sheaves bow to his own. Now, by the time he told his brothers this dream, they felt, what was Joseph actually telling them? Was he telling them that one day he would be their leader, or what was the problem? Another dream was that Joseph said that there were sun, moon, and 11 stars, and they were bowing down, the stars were bowing down to him. He told his father, he told his brothers. Their father now felt, is it me, your mother, and the rest of your brothers that will bow down one day and worship you? Now the father kept this thing. You know, as parents, he will not call for a meeting and say, hey, let us sit and discuss the meaning of the dreams of this boy. Look at his number in the family. No, the father kept these things in his heart. That proves maturity on the side of the father. So, Joseph in his lifetime was given a mission. What was that mission? And what is a mission? A mission is an assignment. What was the assignment that was given to Joseph? The assignment was that Joseph was sent by his father from the valley of Hebron that he should go and check his brothers in Shechem. Now, you know his brothers were shepherds. They have gone to a place known as Shechem. So his father said, let him go there and look at how his brothers were faring. Joseph took off. He wore out his beautiful clothes. And as he was going, when he reached Shechem, Joseph could not see his brothers at Shechem. So he was wondering, where have they gone to? Then he met somebody that asked him what he was looking for. And so he told this man that he was looking for his brothers. And this man told him that, I heard them say the other day that they were going to Dothan. So why not go there? Joseph now ran to Dothan. Now, as Joseph was approaching his brothers, when the brothers took note of him from a distance, they say, here comes the dreamer. We will kill him. They conspired or plotted against Joseph. wanting to kill him. One of the brothers, Reuben, said, no, let us not kill our brother Joseph. He wanted to obey that injunction that says, shed no blood. So let us not use our hands to kill our brother. Why not just drop him in one of the empty pits here? There were empty wells there. And that is one of the pits that I said Joseph had 4 P's in his life. So Joseph was now thrown into one of the 4 P's, and that is pit. Now, the reason why Reuben suggested it was that if the brothers must have gone to graze the cattle, he can sneak back and remove Joseph and send him back to his father. But unfortunately, while they were eating, here came some Ishmaelite traders, and Reuben was not there. While they were eating, this man came, and Judah, one of the brothers again, suggested that let them just sell him out and forget about him. So these Ishmaelites came, and Joseph was sold to these men. Now these men were traders. They were trading in spices, myrrh, and balm. So these men were trading in balm, spices, and myrrh. They were not in the business of buying human beings. But if you look at the story of Joseph very well, God was in the business of making Joseph somebody one day. So when Judah suggested that they should sell Joseph, the brothers agreed, and they sold Joseph at the rate of 20 shekels of silver. Students out there, you should not be confused with this amount that Joseph was sold for. Jesus was sold at the rate of 30 shekels, but that of Judah and Joseph was lesser than that of Jesus Christ. So Joseph was sold at 20 shekels of silver. Now, when these traders bought Joseph, they were on their way to Egypt. On reaching Egypt, since they were not trading on human beings, they sold Joseph to Potiphar. Who was this Potiphar? Potiphar was the chief security at Pharaoh's palace. He was a very important officer at Pharaoh's palace. So Potiphar bought Joseph and kept him as a slave in his house. But as time went on, Potiphar, can you see now the second P that we are talking of? We have discussed about the first P, which is pit, that Joseph was thrown into. And the second P now is that Joseph was sold to Potiphar. Now, in the house of Potiphar, Joseph remained as a slave. When next we meet, we shall see how he left Potiphar's house. But by the time the brothers sold Joseph out, what would they tell their father? Now, since they have already stripped him of his clothes, they decided and discussed among themselves that they were going to kill a goat. You know, they were shepherds. They have these animals. They were going to kill a goat, fetch his blood, and smear or sprinkle this blood on the clothes that their father bought for Joseph. They even got the clothes torn so that they would take it to their father and tell him that while they were grazing the cattle, they found this cloth. So let their father identify whether the cloth belonged to Joseph. And by the time the father saw the cloth, he actually knew that that was Joseph's cloth. So the brothers told him that while they were grazing the cattle, they saw the cloth. Now, how do you feel the father of Joseph will feel. He felt so bad. He mourned for Joseph and refused to be comforted. The children gathered around him to comfort him, but he refused to be comforted. He mourned for Joseph for so many days. He refused to be comforted. So that was how Joseph was sold out, but not that he died. Now, we have seen the mission of Joseph and how he ended. We have seen how Joseph, God was preparing him for leadership. And little did he know that he will land in the house of Potiphar. So, now, having discussed the life of Joseph, we saw how the brothers hated him. And we saw how God chose him to be one of the leaders that he wanted him to lead his children to the promised land. But along the line, Joseph was loved by his father, and the brothers hated him. Another point was that the brothers, seeing the love the father had for him, they felt they should just do away with Joseph. So by the time his father gave him a mission, an assignment to go and see how they were faring, that was how Joseph was sold out. They never wanted to see him again, but God was preparing him for something. So Joseph landed in the house of Potiphar, and Joseph became so loyal in the house of Potiphar. Now, having said that, we found out that Joseph, who was one of the sons of Jacob, did not finish his life in the house of Potiphar. So by God's grace, in our next lesson, we shall see how Joseph was taken to another P. We have 2 P's to discuss. So before I leave you, I have an assignment for you. So students out there, please, we have the references to look at the life of Joseph, because if you look at these points, they are not all the points that concerns the life of Joseph. So, question 1. Explain the 4 reasons that made the brothers of Joseph to hate him. Number 2. Explain the roles of Judah and Reuben in the life of Joseph. Number 3. Write 2 lessons that can be derived from the episode or the life of Joseph. Explain the 4 reasons that made the brothers of Joseph to hate him. Number 2. Explain the roles of Judah and Reuben in the life of Joseph. Number 3. Write 2 lessons that can be derived from the episode or life of Joseph. My name is Mrs. Asebe David Ndagjana, and in case you want to ask any question, my number is 08077251542. I take it up again. I remain Mrs. Asebe David Ndagjana, and my contact number is 08077251542. Remain blessed and stay home. Coronavirus is real. Please enjoy the holiday. God bless you.